If you snooze, you lose, and indeed, that is the case. There are only so many money-making opportunities to be had, and he's going to tell you where they all are. It's the one and only Black Bookie. It's Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe, how are you today?
Good evening, America. Welcome to the Snooze You Lose podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Joe. This is a sports and a sports betting podcast where the motto is and always will be win together, lose together. Thank you for joining us here another week on Millions. Share the stream and tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at The Black Bookie. We are here for another week. New listeners, old listeners, you know how we rock. We don't try and take up too much of your time. Few topics we're going to jump into. Hope everybody's doing well out there. We were gone last week. I hope everybody enjoyed their Martin Luther King Day. And let's get down to business. There's only 4, and then there was 4. We got 4 teams left to decide the Super Bowl champion. We're getting close to the trade deadline in the NBA. We're getting close to the trade deadline in the NHL. We got the Australian Open going on. Baseball will be here before you know it. So a lot to talk about. Of course, you were going to blink and March Madness will be here. So let's get into it. Speaking of college basketball, our play today, our Snooze You Lose pick is actually a college basketball play. We're going to start with that first because it tips off shortly. Hopefully, you already got the play locked in. We're rocking with UNC minus 7.5. Our plays are always posted on Twitter, BetStamp, Discord, Sports Action, so you guys can always get our play. We've been a little shaky, a little up and down over the last 3 weeks. We actually dropped our last 3. We were 4-1 in our last 5, and then we had dropped 3 straight. So a little bit up and down to start 2024, trying to get some consistency going and figure things out. But we're rolling with the Tar Heels as that game is about to tip off. And what can you say about UNC? I mean, they've been absolutely dominating so far, dominating conference play this year. A chance to have a 3-game lead in the conference so far, so early into the season. Well, kind of late, but still kind of early to be that many games ahead. Their last 5 matchups, they won by 10, 16, 36, 13, and 10 points. So just blowing their opponents out, not even really giving them a chance. Expecting the same thing here tonight. They're on an 8-game winning streak, 9-0, I believe, at home. They take on Wake Forest, where Wake is having a good year, definitely bouncing back and getting back into a winning system, winning formula, winning culture. But I don't think they're going to have enough to keep up with the Tar Heels tonight, especially in UNC. A key factor is they're going to have to defend the Tar Heels are going to have to defend the perimeter, though. Wake Forest, top 50 in the nation in three-point shooting. So if those 3 start to fall, they could definitely keep this game close and end up messing up our cover. I don't think there's any doubt that UNC is going to win this game. We just need them to cover and take care of business, which is the difference. The game already started, so I can't check. I believe they were 9-0 at home, though. Let's double check. Yeah, 8-0 at home, 8-game winning streak. So the game has tipped off. It's 2-2 so far early. Like I said, there's no doubt in my mind UNC is going to win this game. It's just how they're going to get the cover for us. But the way they've been taking care of their opponents, it should be a rocking chair winner. Wake also struggles on the road this year. Like I said, having a good season, heading in the right direction. They're 13-5 on the year, second in the ACC. So this is a tough test for them as well, too, to kind of prove where they rank at against their conference opponents. But they are 1-3 on the road this year. So a different team on the road, not the same, even though they're having a good season. So we need UNC to come out tonight. I expect it to be close. Wake's no pushover. Like I just said many times, they've gotten better. So I expect it to be close. And I just expect late down the stretch for the veteran presence and the offense of the Tar Heels to do what we need to do and pull this game away. Connection drop. We're still good. NFL. And then there was 4. Crazy football weekend. Down to the wire. Ravens, Texans. It was looking scary. It was looking scary in that first half. It was looking like, typical Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson playoff behavior. We know Lamar was 1-3 in the playoffs coming into this matchup. keep saying I can't. Hopefully the stream's still going. It's popping up bad connection and going out. So hopefully you guys are there with me. And then the Ravens in the second half come out, completely different team, 34 unanswered points, just complete domination in the second half and pulled away. The Ravens' last Super Bowl appearance, 2011. I've said it once, I've said it twice. I've done videos on it if you guys follow me on social media, that this is the best chance they have. This is the best chance they have to get to the Super Bowl, not even to win it. This is the best chance they have to get there. Lamar still playing at an MVP level, still proving all the naysayers wrong by getting it done in the pocket. Of course, making plays with his legs when he has to, but getting things done in the pocket, proving all the naysayers wrong, a complete domination in the second half. And as a Colts fan, I'm scared because the Texans, CJ Stroud has this team right back on track to be a problem in the division in the AFC South. Just so poised, looks ahead of his years, well beyond his years. Didn't play like a rookie at all this year. And I'm nervous because if it comes down to CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud looks like the better choice. So it's going to be interesting to see how things go. But definitely and DeMeco Ryan, too, credit to him, the head coach for the Texans. It's all about culture, changing culture there, coming in, getting an opportunity. African-American head coach with an African-American quarterback coming in, shaking things up, and being successful. And it's going to be tough to beat that Texans team. They're just going to keep improving. CJ Stroud has definitely arrived. It should be a landslide, unanimous decision for him to be Rookie of the Year. And I'm worried. As a Colts fan, I am worried, but that's neither here nor there. The Ravens take care of business, like I said, in the second half and completely dominate it. Not only win the game, cover, and they got the Chiefs coming up. We'll get to that. Packers, 49ers, another quarterback that looks ahead of schedule. Jordan Love, looking like a franchise quarterback, ahead of schedule. Also proving the naysayers wrong. A lot of people thought this kid doesn't look like he has it. He sat there and learned behind Aaron Rodgers, took over the reins, and he's here. I mean, he did throw a really bad ball and an interception to end the game. Not to lose the game, but to end the game. He threw a really bad pick. And that's just mistakes you can't make. I mean, there's quarterbacks that have been in the league for years that make that, things happen. You just can't make that type of play. You can't throw across your body, across field. I understand being a gunslinger and trying to be aggressive, but those are just plays you can't make, especially in this situation where you only need a field goal to tie the game and march down the field and try and force overtime. You're on the road. You playing with house money in a situation that nobody thought you were going to be. Half the world had you written off to lose last week against the Cowboys. You were winning in this game, and it took a complete turnaround from Brock Purdy and the 49ers in that fourth quarter and go on a game-winning drive to get in a position with a Christian McCaffrey touchdown to go up 3. Of course, they had their kicker miss a huge field goal. And that's what it came down to a lot this weekend. Special teams. It's 3 facets: offense, defense, special teams. And for the Packers and the Bills, special teams absolutely let them down. Debo had gone out in this game for San Fran. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to play coming up against the Lions as well either. They're still waiting to get reports on that. They said he avoided a fracture. But when he went out the game, it seemed like the game plan went with him. For a while in this matchup, the 49ers, I know we could talk about the rain affecting Brock Purdy and him not being comfortable in those elements. But when Debo went out that game, the play calling changed tremendously. And it's like I said, it seemed like the game plan went with him when he went out. And the 49ers had to realize, okay, wait, we have Christian McCaffrey back here. Let's run the ball. If Debo's out, let's give it to, arguably, in my opinion, still the most impactful player on the field, offensively, at least for San Fran. Let's put the ball in McCaffrey's hands and let's have him take us to the promised land. And that's what started to happen. They started to run the ball again, started to swing routes and screens and things like that to get him active. Brock Purdy, 21 for 39, 252 yards, 1 touchdown. Did not have a good game. And that's okay. I mean, I see everywhere people trying to crucify him today. Oh, he's not Josh Allen. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Lamar Jackson. Whoever said he was? I mean, whoever said he was? Yes, because of the season they were having, I understand maybe throwing his name in the hat in a few MVP conversations. I didn't. I can understand if people did. Lamar was always my MVP. Then would be Christian McCaffrey. And like him or hate him, Dak had an incredible season. So there would be a few people I would put before Brock Purdy. But the elements is clearly an issue for him. We could clearly see he struggles with the rain. And it wasn't just in this game. They broke it down. It was in Cleveland. I think there was another game, Chicago or somewhere like that, where he had an issue with it. The rain is clearly an issue for him. But he was good enough to win this game. He wasn't great. He wasn't spectacular. He wasn't Josh Allen. He wasn't Patrick Mahomes. He wasn't Lamar Jackson. But he didn't turn the ball over. He kept the team in the game. And he still led a game-winning drive to now go to the NFC Championship. I don't think there's really much you can ask for. There's not going to be any rain Sunday when they face the Lions. I don't get the crucify. I mean, everybody's ready to crucify him. That's all I saw today was just people just crucifying how bad he played. Yes, he was not good. He wasn't good. He was not great. But he also gives some credit to the Packers and their defense. Him not being able to play in the rain, yeah, that's going to be an issue. That's not going to be an issue Sunday, but that will be an issue going forward in his career, where, luckily that most of his games are in sunny California. So that is going to be an issue. But for right now, I don't think he's deserving of all the scrutiny. He didn't have a great game. It's okay. He did what he did enough. He did enough to keep the team in the game. He did enough to win, and he's still going. He's still playing. They're still playing next week. Now, if they ended up losing this game, that's a different conversation. But 252 for a touchdown, no interception, game-winning drive, heading to the NFC Championship. The weather situation he's got to figure out, or he may not. Like I said, because most of his games are in San Francisco, so he's fine. But I just was surprised by all the scrutiny because I've never sat once and thought, wow, Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy, neck and neck. I don't. It's crazy to me. Bucks Lions. I'm not going to flip flop. My Super Bowl prediction is 49ers and the Ravens. But in my heart, I am rooting for the Lions. I'm definitely rooting for Detroit. How could you not? I mean, obviously, unless you're a Green Bay fan or a Vikings fan or something like that. I mean, how could you not? It's a feel-good story. Since day one, Dan Campbell has come into that building and told you we're going to bite you in the kneecaps. That's the culture that he's built. He's turned this program around, turned this organization around. It's good for the city. It's good for the people. They've been desperate. I mean, this is a franchise that was 0-16 not that long ago. And I'm also rooting for the Lions because exactly how bad Detroit has been and how they've been starving for some success and a playoff game. 30 years from their last playoff home game. I mean, Jared Goff just thrown to the curb. Everybody said it was Sean McVay. It's not him. He stinks. He can only win with Sean McVay. Jared Goff, 30 for 43, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, going to the NFC Championship. Just believing in himself, making things happen. For the Bucks, it seems like Baker Mayfield is the same way Jared Goff has seemed to found himself a home in Detroit. Baker Mayfield has found himself a home in Tampa Bay. There's been talks it's going to be a contract extension, and I'm also happy for Baker, another guy, a journeyman, then bounced around, had some injury issues. We didn't really know. Does Baker stink? Can he be an NFL quarterback? Can he be a starting quarterback? Is he just a backup? Is he just going to be the next Johnny Manziel? And I thought Baker had a very good season, a solid game too. I mean, he had the 2 picks. The first one wasn't his fault. The second one was definitely his fault. A bad decision, bad throw in a tight spot. But a solid season, and he came up short. I mean, I don't think there's 100 people outside of Tampa Bay that thought this team would even be playing in a game with a chance to go to the NFC Championship when the season started. The Bucks were on nobody's radar. Nobody's. An awesome job by Todd Bowles to keep things moving after losing Tom Brady. To have Baker come in, still have the defense shut things down, and be able to want to keep moving forward. I'm very happy. Both of these quarterbacks deserve nothing but praise. Once again, is Baker Mayfield Josh Allen? Absolutely not. But a solid season. He came up short. He's found himself a home. He's going to get a contract and another chance to keep proving himself. And when I don't see a lot of guys complain about Baker as a teammate since from college. There's a lot of dudes that, we see the ego. They think they're better than what they are. And Baker may spew those characteristics. They may come off as that. But I don't hear a lot of his teammates complaining about him. Guys seem to enjoy playing with him. He clearly wants to win. He's a competitor. Does whatever it takes. We saw last year where he was getting bounced around. Got off a plane. Landed on Tuesday and won the game on Thursday for the Rams. And how that locker room celebrated. Like he had been there all year. So I'm happy for both of them. Checking on this. 7-6 so far, Wake Forest over North Carolina. 12 minutes on the first. And then, of course, the clash of the clash. Mahomes, Allen. Once again, appreciate you guys joining me. Share the stream. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I mean, what more can we say about these two? Every time it's pay-per-view that they play each other. The last time the AFC Championship game didn't feature the Chiefs or the Patriots was in 2011 when it was Mark Sanchez versus Ben Roethlisberger. And I sit here today and I think it's got to start clicking. It's got to start setting in for Josh Allen to feel like and think, man, when it matters, I can't beat this guy. I can't do it when it counts. And when it matters, I can't beat him. I thought Josh Allen played incredible. From the first quarter to the fourth quarter, he was flawless. He did everything. Made plays with his leg, made plays with his arm. His teammates couldn't have let him down any more than they did. And specifically, his kicker, Tyler Bass, Stephon Diggs, and the other wideout that dropped a huge pass. They let him down. Josh Allen was incredible. I don't think he can play he played better. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes without a doubt. I don't think he could play any better. What more can he do? Once again, at home. Bounced out. Another year at home. Where he's leaving. And it's crazy too, because me and my wife were talking about it too. We were watching the videos with showing all the people coming out, Bills Mafia. Great fan base coming out, shoveling the snow, cleaning the seats, waiting in line to help shovel the snow. And for what? For once again be sent home by Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think this one stings the most because I don't think Josh Allen, what higher level can he get to? I don't think he can play any better than he did. He was incredible. He was the best player on the field. The first half, the Bills bullied Kansas City. Bullied. In the trenches, they bullied them. Got whatever they wanted, ran the ball down their throat, and absolutely bullied that front line. And in the second half, KC came out in that opening drive, set the tone. Their defense stepped up, turned it around. Pacheco was great on the ground, which wasn't there in that last matchup. And we know, just like Lamar had something to prove, and he still has to prove himself in being able to win in the playoffs. All week, Patrick Mahomes had to hear it. Oh, he's never won on the road. He's never won on the road. He's never won on the road in the playoffs. Never won on the road in the playoffs. Came out and proved himself in a hostile environment, too. Came out and proved himself. I mean, this wasn't Miami. Came out and proved himself on the road in Buffalo against front of Bills Mafia, trailing, had to come take the lead, held on to the lead. Who knows? Tyler Bass makes that 44-yard field goal. This game goes to overtime. Who knows? It could be a different outcome. We don't know. But what we do know is he missed it, cost the Bills a chance, And that's what I'm saying. It has to be sitting into Josh. He's got to be sitting there thinking, what more can I do? He can't play at a higher level than he did. He was incredible and still came up short to the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes once again. It's got to be demoralizing. It has to be. What more can he do? Stephon Diggs got to be better. You're the number one wide receiver on that team. He's got to be better. 2 huge drops he had. Got to be better. Bass, I mean, kickers, that's what kickers do. Looking forward, now we look to the next matchups. Bucks, like I said, I'm still sticking with Ravens, 49ers. I'm not going to flip-flop. That's what I've been rolling with. That's what I said my early prediction was going to be. I am rooting for the Lions internally. It's another going to be a great game. I don't think, it doesn't have the history as Mahomes Allen. But Lamar and Mahomes is going to be a great matchup as well, too. Patrick Mahomes has to go on the road again and get it done. I'm leaning slightly. The last time I said this was about the Browns and they got blown out. But I'm leaning slightly to to the Ravens. Only because, 1, I'm not going to switch. I picked them. I'm going to stay with them. 2, they're at home. This is their best chance to get there. 3, I'm hoping, for the Ravens' sake, that beating the Bills. See, this is the problem, though. Kansas City has been here before, and they have such good leadership with Kelsey and Mahomes and Andy Reid, where they don't really get complacent. But I'm hoping beating the Bills meant a little bit more to them. Not that obviously going to the Super Bowl doesn't, but just exerted a little bit more extra effort. Because remember, Patrick Mahomes sitting there crying too about the last game when they got screwed about the neutral zone infraction, where they lost the game early in Buffalo, in Kansas City. So, and then of course with him here, and he can't win on the road. So I'm hoping that little extra motivation that they had going into Buffalo, it's not really going to be here for the Ravens. It doesn't have the same aura. Obviously, it's the AFC Championship. It's still a huge game. I'm not saying that. I'm not knocking that at all. But it doesn't have the same aura that Mahomes Allen has. That's Mahomes Allen is The Rock versus Stone Cold. This doesn't have that. So I'm leaning slightly Ravens that they could take advantage of that, because this means everything to them. They don't care who it was. This means everything to them. Lamar is now 2-3 in the playoffs, a chance to get to 3-3 and get to his first Super Bowl. This means everything to them. Not that it doesn't mean anything to the Chiefs. Of course, I know I'm not rooting for them to get to another Super Bowl. I love Mahomes. I think he's an incredible talent. But no, we've seen enough of the Chiefs win. We've seen enough of it. So I would love for Lamar to finally get there. I would love for Detroit to finally get there. But I'm hoping. I'm giving a slight edge to the Ravens just because I don't think it has that same aura that Mahomes Allen had. But we're going to see. It's going to be great. Let me know who you guys are rolling with. I'm not switching my pick, though. 12-12 in the North Carolina Wake Forest game. I think it will be Ravens 49ers. Not going to be any rain on Sunday. Does Detroit still have enough? It's also the first playoff game they're going to have to go on the road. Their first 2 matchups, they were home. This one, they're going to have to go on the road. Do they still get it done? San Fran just has so many people. Losing Debo is a huge loss, though. That is an absolutely huge blow. But I think at least now they'll be going into the matchup knowing he's not playing. You game plan differently. You be practicing without him. It's different than losing him on the fly. Still a huge blow. Still a huge blow. But at least you can prep and be prepared for it, opposed to just, oh, crap, where's Debo? Get his helmet, and he's not coming in. So I'm glad that it's not really one of my teams, as weird as that sounds, because I think it's been an awesome playoffs overall. So, of course, I would want my team to be there, but I do enjoy just also sitting and watching and not having an emotional connection to it, and just be able to sit and relax and enjoy the games and be like, wow, these are just great games. For the most part, they have, besides the Cowboys game, the playoffs have been awesome. I don't think the Ravens game got ugly in the second half, but for the most part, these games have been awesome. So that's what I'm rolling with. Let me know what you guys like. I'll see if I'm wrong or see if we're right. We'll be back next week to talk about it. But as always, I appreciate you guys. I told you I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I got some things to do as well anyway. But another week, I appreciate you guys here. If you are an athlete or a trainer or anything like that, Millions is the place to be. I'm telling you, check it out. It's a great place they're bringing athletes and brands together. So check it out. I'm here. I'll be here every Monday, 7 o'clock. Share the stream. If you missed some of the show, it'll be on the page. You can go back and watch it. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Follow us on all social media platforms at The Black Bookie. As always, in the words of the icon Billy Walters, I've had some losing weeks. I've had some losing months. Never had a losing year. Snooze, Lose podcast. Till next time.